On my 16th birthday, my parents sat me down and told me I had to move in with my aunt because they wanted my room for my sister and her baby. So I moved out and posted about it on Facebook, and now they're furious with me for exposing them. She told me that she had a lot of things that she wanted to talk to me about. So out of curiosity, I did go see her. Once I got there, she first apologized to me for never speaking up for me even though she knew that our parents were playing favorites and never favored me. They'd always ignored all my achievements to celebrate hers. And I was always the least wanted kid, but she never did anything to remedy that. She just never felt comfortable speaking to our parents about this, so she just let it slide. And since I seemed okay and fine with the treatment I was getting, she felt less inclined to say anything. She'd now realized that it was pretty messed up and wanted things to change, so she apologized to me. She also told me that the living arrangement was something our parents hadn't discussed with her at all, and she'd been shocked to find out about them kicking me out to accommodate the new baby and her boyfriend because she had no idea that this had happened. She'd never even asked for any of this, and her plan had been to just live with our parents until the baby was a few months old. And then she'd move in with her boyfriend. She'd wanted to move out earlier, but had stayed only at my parents' insistence. However, after my post, she realized that this couldn't continue and moved out within a week. She'd had a huge fight with our parents over her moving out because they believed that this was a bad decision, and now they weren't even talking because she'd been accused of being ungrateful and selfish, none of which she'd been. Because she'd never promised my parents anything, and they just assumed things themselves. So all that drama was for nothing ultimately since my parents ended up losing both their kids. At least she apologized to me for being a bad sister and a bad person in general, which I forgave her for because I don't think choosing to be unforgiving and cold is going to help me in any way. We talked things out, and she told me the same thing that my aunt did, that from this point on, she'd be there for me no matter what. So that was nice. It's been a little less than a week since my original post, and I still haven't heard from my parents after the email. So I'm guessing they've given up on trying to get me back. I'm sure my grandparents must have had something to do with it since they did call me in the middle to tell me that my parents wouldn't be bothering me anymore and that I didn't need to worry about them showing up at my school or emailing me again. I hadn't told them about the email that Dad had sent, so I'm assuming that my parents and grandparents must have talked about things. I don't know what they would have talked about, but I'm sure my parents have given up now. Update 2. Just 3 days have passed since my last update, and today my aunt told me that my parents have agreed to give up their parental rights, and the paperwork and stuff will be complete soon. She'll be taking over the legal aspect of my custody soon, and I have mixed feelings. I'm happy that I'm finally going to have a home where I don't constantly feel unwanted and unneeded, but I'm also kind of empty and sad about some things. I feel weird that this is finally happening, but this for the best. This is what I wanted. Update 3. Okay. Hey guys. Couple of weeks have passed since my aunt took over. She's my legal guardian now, so yay for that. I also found out that my parents only gave up my custody because after I told my grandparents that I didn't want to go back to living with them, they told my parents that they could either lose their entire inheritance or they could keep 50% of whatever they were going to receive initially, and give up my custody, and promise not to bother me again in any way. I guess we all know what my parents picked, lol. I'm not surprised. And at this point, I don't even care because this just makes me feel like I dodged a bullet there. Good riddance for me. I'm still in touch with my sister, though. My parents are trying to get back on good terms with her before her due date, but she wants some time to herself right now. So she's told them that she wants her space, and they need to stop bothering her every day. At this point, I can't help but just laugh at what a mess they've made of our own family. But whatever, I'm happy with my aunt, and that's all that matters.